Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with the word for today. And the word for today is a statement. How we live today matters. I don't preach much about end times. My end time position is pan-trib. It will all pan out in the end. Anybody that thinks they know, don't know. Because Jesus said only the Father knows. Which brings a question to mind, what's the purpose of prophecy? According to the Lord in Isaiah, the purpose of prophecy is to show that He is God, declaring something before it happens, what will happen, which only God can do. There are ministers that say something like 1/3 of the Bible is prophecy. I'm not real sure how they arrive at that, but what they teach is we need to teach prophecy as one of our top 3 topics. Now, obviously, I disagree with that. So, is there a reason to study prophecies? Yes, so that when they come to pass, you'll know that He is God. When I read the end time prophecies, the thing that really speaks to me is the same thing that speaks to me from Kings and Chronicles. It makes a difference how I live. And there is coming a time, the judgment day, when I will have to give an account for how I lived, for how I stewarded the resources God has given to me. The most amazing thing to me in this is how many people know, how many people have been given prophecies, how many have had God speak to them personally, how many have had angels speak to them, have experienced signs, wonders, miracles, had visions, had dreams, and still reject God. My conclusion is that it's not my experience with the supernatural. It's not the epiphanies that I've had. It's not even what I believe or know that determines my eternal outcome. It's how I live. It's how I steward the resources given to me. It's my fidelity to Jesus. Now, I know this completely flies in the face of most of the Western church theology. But how many of the kings had a supernatural experience and still chose to reject God and His Word? How many people in the end times see the power of God, experience the power of God, and refuse to repent? My conclusion is that while it is possible for people to repent at the end of a life of rejecting God and His Word, most people who have not lived for God, even when faced with a supernatural event, will not choose God, will not repent. Which makes me ask the question, am I choosing to live God's way today? Am I positioning myself by the way I live my life today to respond in obedience, to live in the fear of the Lord so that on Judgment Day I will receive a reward instead of destruction? One right choice leads to another right choice. A wrong choice leads to another wrong choice. It is much more difficult to make a right choice after a series of wrong choices. And my current thinking is that there is a point in making wrong choices where people will not make the right choice even when they know what the right choice is. I don't even want to come close to that point. So what is the point today, Pasta? Practice making right choices today. Learn to say no to the good so that you can say yes to the God today. The word for today is a statement. How we live today matters. God bless. Check in tomorrow.